Hello, everyone. Hello. It's a little bit early, but we're very proud to be here and would like to present you this project. The project is called Gabo Book House, and it's a project that evolves as a research project over about 4 years. Ling and I have been working on this village in a very slow process for over 4 years. First, going there with students, developing prototypes, working with the villagers, and eventually asking and sort of collaborating with the villagers to see how we could help them. Gabo, this is what Gabo looks like. It's a Dong minority village. It's situated in Hunan, and it sort of houses about 2,000 to 2,500 villagers. The reason why we're so excited and so interested in working in this village is that it's a village that is still very resilient. It's an autonomous village and has an incredible sense of community. And we think that sense of community can be the DNA that keeps this village alive. And so here you see mostly the people in Gabo are farmers, and here they gather in the afternoon after working the land. It's a Confucius society, so you see this is where the men meet and they smoke and play cards, and just above here they have the same area for the women. Their culture, and it's an incredibly rich culture, both tangible and intangible, is based on two things. First, they have their own language, which is only spoken and it's not written, so that's a very special thing they have. But the most important thing that we think is that their culture is transmitted through architecture. All their villages, all their buildings are built in timber. And the most amazing thing about these buildings is that they're built without any nails. This is called the drum tower, and here you see the drum tower outside. They're small community buildings that sort of accommodate about 8 to 10 families. Every drum tower is built by a carpenter and has no architect. Every drum tower looks completely different and is based on no drawings. Here you see the village itself. It has two very important characteristics. One is the river, which is the source of life for the rice fields, and the rest is the orientation, which is east-west. And we'll now show you the topography around the site. All their land is based on, and their work is based on rice. They harvest the rice once a year, and you see that it's a mountainous area, and these are the paddy fields that they've actually made and inserted inside the landscape. Life is very simple in Gabo, and most people are farmers. And a typical family of 3 to 4 people can survive on $1,000 a year. And they can do that because, US dollars, because they get all their products from the land. But there are some serious problems. There are serious problems that all the working age people leave, and you get this very strange demographics of a village that has very young people and looked after by old people. And when people leave, they leave behind their houses. This is a typical Dong house with a frame, and you can see that this usually and typically would have rooms and cells inside it, but it's been left abandoned. People do come back more and more, especially because it's more difficult to find jobs in the cities. And when they do come back, they want mod cons. They want washing machines, they want showers, they want toilets that work, and so they have concrete. And this has a very serious impact on the traditional of building in timber.
In the past 4 years, we went to the village several times with several students. Each time at least 30 to 50 students do design for local people. We encouraged our students to observe and record their daily life through some even tiny things, to understand their life, their space, their body, their society, and the community. Learning from making. With the local person and local carpenters' help, we made so many prototypes and to understand, to get knowledge with the Timbo structure. And those small prototypes recreated some new spaces for the society, recreated some social space. We are families with the villagers. Everybody loves Peter. Everybody loves us. Those lovely child, they study in the classroom, but after school, some of them cannot find some suitable place to stay with each other, to play with each other. And some of them are addicted to the computer games. We feel upset. So, besides those teaching programs, besides those design, what can we do for the local people? What can we do for the community? What can we do for those children? I think the answer is still design and build. We got the trust through our hard work from the villagers. They give us a site after the whole villagers have a meeting. And we want our new building to show our knowledge, learn from the villagers of their living heritage and living with nature. It is a co-work with the local carpenters. We use models to express our design and to let them understand our design. Because they have no joints in tradition, they just use their mind to understand or remember all the joints and to make all the elements. With the bamboo rulers and bamboo sticks, they make, and also with very simple tools and their hands, they make all the elements out of the site and then make it together step by step. And then finish the timber structure within 1 day.
So the way we work is that we have a small research lab, and this is funded through grants. And that enables us to do all the work that we do pro bono. And the other thing that we do is that we actually finance the building. This building cost $60,000 US dollars to build. And what's very important is that we only work with local carpenters. So with this money, about 10 carpenters can survive for about 2 years with this money. Here you can see the completed building, and you can see the two main moves that we made. First of all, we changed the orientation. We were very careful about this, and we spoke to local people, and they agreed that even if we go against the grain, the fact that we have light in this building, which is so important because the buildings are so dark, was something that they valued. And the other thing, we created a public space below. And you can see from this drawing here that we sort of did for ourselves, is that it's linked, it's one singular space within the DNA of a Dong house. And this space is a staircase. It's important for us that the library was a place to play rather than a quiet place. The building itself is small. It's 15 meters by 10, and the whole square meterage is about 250 square meters. It took about a year to design and build, 6 months to design, and then 6 months to work with the carpenters. And new buildings in Dong culture are very important. They are omens for the future, and also there's a big ritual when every building opens. That's also to welcome something, but also to dispel any demons that might be around. This is how it's used in every day. You can see here the traditional building with the facade weaving through the structure. That is a contemporary design. And this is probably the thing that we're proudest of. The building has no door. It's open to everyone at all times. And so children can come in. Upstairs you go, 3 of the 4 walls are filled with books. And it's important for us that the books are like games. So we made these interactive walls with plants and exhibition things that children made. And again, all the books were sourced, crowdsourced, through simply us putting an ad in WeChat and people donating books. You see the different spaces in the library. At the back, more quiet spaces, a table. And we tried to put very few chairs, very few actually seats, because we wanted the children to play on the stairs themselves and sit there. It's a building that's open all the time. So here you see very early in the morning, about 7:30, children come to school, they wait. And so the back of the building is dark and the children sit at the front and read their book. And it's also a place full of pockets that children can hide, and they love to play games. And finally at the top there's an area for the teachers and the parents to read stories. And then finally, I just want to read a small sentence that we wrote when we opened it, and I think it captures the essence of the project. We all dream of places to escape. We all need stories to understand the world we live in. The book house is a small escape house for children to ponder about the wonders of life, just in case we adults might forget it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So let me understand. So it's basically a community library, if one had to give it a type.
Yeah.
And the fact that there are no doors also means it's not conditioned space from the look that everyone's sitting there with their coats?
Yes, yeah. But